Hi everyone, welcome to the Brain Book channel. I am Amir and hope you are doing fine. In this video, I want to talk about the structure of the neuron. What is the neuron? The neurons are structural and functional units of the nervous system. They are all have three different parts including dendrites, cell body, and axon. And they use electrical impulses and chemical signals to transmit information. Here you can see different types of neurons that are located in different parts of our central and peripheral nervous system. Their shape and morphology are different because of their function and activity in our nervous system. But they share the same characteristic, including they all have dendrites, they have cell body, and all of them have axon, but with a different size, location, and different morphology. Here we have a comprehensive illustration for structure of the neuron. As you can see here, mainly a neuron comprised of cell body, axon, and a nerve ending which is axonal terminal. We have here dendrites and that are projection. Their function is that they conduct the information and transmit the information from the environment and other neurons toward the cell body. And here we have a cell body. It's a the main part of the neuron that contains a big portion of neurons cytoplasm. And here in the cell body, we have a nucleus that controls the neuron homeostasis activity. And also, as you can see here in the cell body, we have a different dendritic projection, but here we have a one axon projection. The axon is a fiber that connects the cell body to the nerve ending, and it is the longest projection of the neuron and is coated with a myelin sheath. Here you can see the nerve ending that contains axonal terminal. This ending will be connected to a receptor that could be another neuron. Here in the axon, as you can see here in this rectangle, we have a myelin sheath which is produced by Schwann cells in the peripheral nervous system. These myelin sheaths have different functions. One of the functions is that it helps that the information from the cell body toward the nerve ending transmit faster, and also it capables the neurons to do not connect it with another axons, and the transmission and conduction of the information is easier for the neuron. In some places, as you can see here, the myelin sheath is not formed in the axon. These parts and locations are called node of Ranvier that have their specific function. The road of Ranvier enables neuron to transmit faster and the information jump through the Ranvier nodes. As we demonstrated, the cell body is the largest part and contain nucleus and most of cytoplasm, and the most metabolic activity of the cell occur there. Dendrites are short and branched extension, and they carry impulses from environment and other neuron toward the cell body. And it should be noticed that neurons can have several dendrites, as we saw in the illustration. But for the axon in the neuron, we just have one axon. The axon is a long fiber which carries impulses away from the cell body, and it ends in axonal terminal, and it may be located in a distance away from the cell body. And the neurons have just one axon. And here we can see that the myelin sheath is a part of neuron that insulate the membrane surrounding the axon with different functions. Here we have three different types of neurons, as we talked about them in our last videos. The sensory neurons, the motor neurons, and interneurons with different functions. And as you can see here, the sensory neurons is categorized as a pseudo-unipolar neuron. As you can see here, in the cell body, we have just one projection out from cell body. For this reason, it is categorized as the unipolar neurons and unipolar type. But here, for the motor neuron, we called it the multipolar. As you can see here, we have a cell body and we have a different projections out of the cell body, including several dendrites and one axon. As the cell body have different projections out, we call this type of neurons multipolar neuron. And here we have an interneuron, and you can see that here just we have a two projections out of neuron, which are making a dendrites and axonal and nerve terminal. You can see that as it is just two, we call this type of neuron bipolar neuron. Totally, we have three types of neuron: unipolar neuron, multipolar, and bipolar neurons. And their function varies. And in the next slide, I will provide an example of their function. Here you can see that the sensory neuron sense the stimuli from environment and our sensory organ, and the sensory will influence on the neuron. The information will be transmitted through the dendrites and axon of the sensory neuron and go to the CNS. From PNS and peripheral nervous system, it go through the CNS. It is processed by CNS exclusively here, maybe by spinal cord, and the interneuron is between the sensory and the motor neuron and transmit the information from sensory and motor neuron. After processing this stimuli, the CNS will produce a signal to react to this stimuli. It transmitted to the motor neuron, and then it is transmitted to our organs for have a appropriate reaction for this stimuli in the peripheral nervous system. And as you can see here, for example, if we put our fingertips on a hot surface, we will sense that our finger is burning. The information go through the PNS to the CNS. It is processed, and appropriate reaction will be produced. And then, for example, we will pull back our fingertips to avoid injury. You can see that this interneuron and some parts of these neurons are located in the central nervous system, here in the spinal cord. And here, these sensory neuron and motor neurons parts are located in the peripheral nervous system, or PNS. Yes, we finished this part. Thank you for your attention. If you think that this video was helpful, please put the like button and subscribe my channel to support me for making more and more videos. See you later. Have a good time.